Kind of smells like oil out here. Welcome to the Augury House radio. This time, we're in the dream, we're in the mind of the Augury House. Yeah, so here with Ben.
What's up?
What's up? So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we're here for the third podcast, right? The third Augury House radio podcast thing.
The first was Will, right?
Yeah. First was Will, then
And
Devin.
Second, Devin, which will be released soon.
Yeah.
That'll be a soon release coming out, and it's gonna be followed by this third one.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. But this time we're in the mind of the Augury House. So yeah, I guess one of the things that I wanted to talk about was just like, the start of this is our second go of Augury. Augury had a much different life to start, right?
Right.
Like, what was it? We were making shirts at one point. That's kind of how.
Yeah.
Or it was like there was a summer where we were just like buying business licenses or doing business name things.
We bought business licenses, but essentially didn't really like make use or understand things until like the second year, essentially. We spent a fat summer creating t-shirts, right? Yeah, that was a whole other studio then. Remember that? We had a long, very big printer. Remember the printer?
Oh yeah, we got a giant printer from your dad.
Yeah, and then we just started printing from your garage.
Yeah, we were just trying to make shirts then, but that was like the initial Augury House. You named Augury House, right?
Yeah.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I remember that too.
You thought it was Augury. You chose Augury because he meant lit. It was lit.
Or something like that. I remember, like, I was like,
there was a
scavenging.
mistranslation somewhere.
I was like, trying to figure out something to title like a new project, and then I guess I just like went off of the core, which was like litmus essentially. So I was just like trying to think of any synonyms, that could I guess like branch off. And I don't remember exactly how Augury House came about. I do remember telling you though that like it was a synonym for lit.
Yeah, because that was the summer when I think that was like the summer of Astroworld.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's that. But here we are. We're not going to talk about Astroworld, Travis Scott. That's like something else entirely. But yeah. So Augury House first started a few years back, kind of doing just random shirts. But that never really panned out. And then I guess Augury kind of got its second wind from the Augury House project. So what that essentially was I was doing a thesis project That was like a video-based thesis project around Irene June, who's a pretty cool sculptor. So yeah, it was like a video piece about their like personal like personal mythologies, how they think about history and home. So it's kind of like a exploration of those topics. And then yeah, it was fun working with video, but what was it? We played Stanley's Parable.
Right, yeah, I'd say like almost similar to like how we put the first version of Augury as like that like or like correlates to that like I guess summer we spent so much. I remember it was like so hot in your garage and we were like grinding those out. But I feel like the table really swapped when because even during these points I remember I got a beefier computer and that was before you I think had a beefer beefer computer. But like you started telling me about UE a little bit, but it wasn't until like months or sometime after that we got more into UE. But I feel like UE was really kind of like a turning point because that's like when overall project stuff started to switch in a whole nother way. And then obviously Augury House grew, correlated well with your thesis project, and then also creating something in a game.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was I think I was getting to, or it was like we were shooting video. Like we had some pretty good shoots with Irene, but like I don't know. I kind of wanted to play around more with the video, but it was after we played on a whim, just like tried out Stanley Parable, and it was just like,
Yeah.
shit, we can really use games.
Dude, the celeb ducks. There's like, hey yo, Dre, I got something to say.
But yeah, it was like, so it was a video project to start,
Yeah.
but oh yeah, and then we played Parable,
Stanley Parable.
and I was like, shoot,
Did
we
I
can.
ever tell you? Oh, we continue?
Oh yeah, and I was just like, shit, like we could just really use this to do whatever we want. Like we don't have to like make a complete game, but we can just use the tools to make something that's fun to play around with. So that was kind of Augury House, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it was, the whole process was that. It's like we had a bunch of ideas. Well, we were pulling from a bunch of conversations with Irene, and then essentially it was just kind of like translating those conversations into spaces. So, there's like a bunch of weird variations of houses, of homes, there's a lot of video installation things. So like traditional looking videos on walls, but there's also videos mapped onto like mountainscapes. So it was very like an exploration based game. So that was kind of like, I guess, where Augury House started, was just using like the game medium just for exploration of the medium and playing within it, on just that play level, not like on the game level. Like, I don't know, like you see a lot of games playing around like with the form of games, like kind of like, how you're telling me about the Elden Ring, how they have like the invisible walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a cool thing that you can only do in like the game world, where you can just like destroy a mesh like that,
Yeah.
or an object, or it's like your relationship to your world. But yeah, that's kind of like,
Yeah, and like especially the stuff with like the Stanley Parable, playing that game, it's like it really clicked in like another way where it's like essentially these corridors or these hallways that you just keep exploring and then leading into different rooms that just change. So I don't know, it's just definitely like playing that, I felt like, or I don't know, yeah, it's just like definitely going back now feels like Augury House really is sprouted in like such a similar way, like with the going through the house and then like the changing. It's almost like a very similar thing in like Stanley Parable when it's like you get to like a room, it's like you have like a choice and it's like left or right, and it's just like you choose one, and then it's just like things change. So it's like playing with that same template, and then I don't know, that same creator, remember, did, what was it, Beginning Hour?
Yeah, the beginner's guy.
Oh, Beginner's Guide,
Yeah.
yeah. And like that one was like another interesting game one that like got us thinking, because that's like doesn't like the narrative doesn't really like loop until like the end, but like the spaces are just like all totally like random, no correlation between. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, that one too I noted as being a pretty crazy one that
Yeah.
we played.
But that's like kind of, I don't know, that's like kind of the fun potential of like of games is, well, like the cool thing that, well, I guess to go back further, like before, so like Augury House first was like a thing, but it wasn't until like a little bit later till we were like, oh shit, let's like try again with Augury, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the big point there was just like how fast we were able to play with Unreal Engine, because it was just like, I think it was like like 2 Decembers ago where we first started Unreal, and we're coming in like not from a game dev perspective and not with like any coding perspective. It was just like, how can we use this tool, this medium, as fast as possible, you know?
Yeah.
And still play around with the features, but still like create like a complete project. And we were able to do that pretty quickly, is like, you know, between just setting up props, adding sound was pretty easy, but it's like the core concepts were just very, very, very easy to play around with once we got like the basic language of the program down. So it was like, from that perspective, it was like, shit, like it doesn't, like Augury House didn't have like the full, you know, features of like a traditional game, but we're still able to like complete the project in under a year, and it still had like a bunch of weird exhibitions and like video spaces to it, and we're still able to like turn that into like a real life exhibition, video exhibition. So it was, so yeah, it was like, if it was that easy to pick up, or I mean, it wasn't like easy, but like if it was that quick to pick
Yeah.
up and stuff, it's like,
I felt like
it seems like a really nice model.
Right. I felt like it was like no different than essentially like picking up something like another program. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm not like great at a lot of softwares like that. But I don't know. For instance, like I'll open like a software and it's just like a blank canvas, right? And it's just like I get so flustered on like what to do or like what to make. But I felt like UE, it's really like, I don't know, they really guide you in a way that makes it easy to mess around
Yeah.
and like do some of the things that you'd want to see and try without without like taking, I don't know, it just say it's like UE's fairly easy overall, you know what I mean, like down to the mechanics of just like dragging and dropping materials, and then like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like experience-wise, you're definitely a bit ahead of me in UE, but it's just like anytime like I don't do UE and then like pick it up sometime a little bit later, or just like weeks or something, it's just like you remember, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Like everything holds and retains, like the controls are, it just seems like such a simple, easy workspace.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is, like, for our process is there was a lot that we had to build off of. Like, UE has, you know, the Megascans library
Right.
has a bunch of free levels or, like, things that rotate. So there's, like, a lot of demo maps and, like, demo characters that we were able to build off of. So, like, that really made it a lot easier. But, yeah, like, you know, to add your own pictures and to add your own videos into Unreal, it's really, really easy to do. And that in itself is huge.
Right.
You know, like the ability to just set up your own little exhibition with your video.
Right. It's
Like,
so crazy too, because it's just like, for instance, like Photoshop. It's just like if you have a project, like you could just download a project and look at it. UE is like exactly the same as that, but it's like you get like a whole game world too. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, yeah, it's crazy when you think just click on a game level that you like downloaded from like UE Marketplace or something, and then press play, and then next thing you know, you're in like this like world that you could like, I don't know, most of the maps like already have like preloaded like controls, so you could like walk around and explore it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, I feel like it's so much for just like, like clicking on, for instance, like a level to open it.
yeah, yeah,
Like you see so much and you get to explore so much too.
yeah. And I mean, I like Unreal because it's not like a sandbox game. Like you're actually playing with the creation software. I mean, like sandbox games are fine to like, make your own levels and play around and things like that. But when it comes to sharing, it's like uh it's like, if you want someone to play it, they kind of have to have the game,
Yeah.
which is whatever. But in Unreal, it's a lot easier because, like, with Augury House, for example, we were able to make the space. Um, like from there, we're able to like make a playable game off of it that we can distribute any way we want. So like USB drives, Steam. But another cool thing about that is because it's a raw game, we're able to put in virtual cameras and play with it however we like. So, and it's like the concepts were really not that hard. Like once you just learn the basic sets, it's like the same. Like there's a lot of crossover between like audio editors and like video editors too. So that was pretty cool. So like if we think about the Augury House gallery, like the gallery, like what we're doing with that gallery is like, I guess like the technical background behind it, like anyone can do. Like the gallery as we have currently set up, like that's made of completely free assets. Very, very simple construction. It's just loading videos and things like that. But what I've been really excited about with Unreal, like in the early phases, as we were kind of thinking about like, oh shit, Augury House could be a thing. Because I remember before we kind of pulled the trigger on relaunching Augury House within like this Unreal Engine project, like the big draw was that we'd be able to create spaces easily because of all the free assets that are already there, and that we'd be able to practice film stuff too, because we were always trying to get into video and filmmaking, trying to write scripts and stuff, but like it's tricky when there's only two of us and we have to coordinate schedules, and when we don't have like a crew to work
Right.
off of.
And then equipment too.
Yeah, the equipment. Like, it's one thing to come out to like a location with like cameras and stuff. God, my nose is so. To like cameras and stuff, but like it's another thing to bring out lights. Like
Like it essentially creates, like if you could get it down, right? It could create so much more than what just a single, student interested in filmmaking could do, right?
yeah.
You get control over like anything you want, like light. The lighting is like absolutely insane, but it's like the camera options too. You get options to like, whole like, different sensors, all that, and then you get to like play with the cameras legitly. You got all the same settings. And then like one thing that was crazy was the sequencer.
Yeah.
Like how easy it is to make cinematic
Yeah.
changes.
Like movements.
Well, movements is one, but even like things just like, like I don't know, like setting the aperture change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those things, depth of field. Like you could really like virtual productions gotta be like at like definitely, reaching the point where it's like, yeah, it's coming for sure.
Yeah, well, like another cool part about it was just there's like the metahumans too. It's like the
Oh,
character
man.
creator and like the fact that you can easily pose them. But then there's also the live link, which is if you have like a iPhone X or above,
Right.
you can do like the facial mocap
Yeah.
for a character live, and it's like really really easy to set up. So like all that combined was like really really, coming from an art background and not like a game development background, like seeing the tools, like what you can do with Unreal just out of the box, it's like pretty fucking amazing, you know. So I guess from there it's like the Augury House, what we're kind of built around, what we're kind of thinking about is like, like there's a lot of projects right now like that are like very profit oriented, or like especially like with the new like the NFT projects, like those are very very profit oriented, where it's like, marketplace within games. But I mean, it's like it's been done, but it's just like a new, just a new layer on top of it, whatever. But it's like, as I guess what we're kind of thinking with Augury House was that, it's like you can make like for-profit based games systems around that, whatever. But it's like, I feel like it's even easier to make a like a UE project based around, just collaborations around, like the exchange of ideas, and just creating a project that's oriented towards exploring ideas and collaborating with people that, are outside of like the game development atmosphere, and bringing their work inside of it, and like seeing how that their idea takes shape. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like projects like that are just in general would be much more interesting, like the things that they would produce, like so that's like, honestly,
it seems like it's so set up, like this market, where you're definitely right, like it's set up definitely towards making money. Like, remember, we've even like, it's even like a little weird, like reaching out to people to like reaching out for collaborations and setting that up in a way that, I don't know, it just seems like normally it's just aimed towards, like what will I get out of this, or like what I get out of this, whereas like, I don't know, I feel like when the collaborators come, it's like really inviting, or we're trying to create like more on the lines of like a like open, like, I don't know, how do you explain it?
well, yeah, I mean, like I remember when we were first talking about like having the system of collaborations, like one of like the main ideas would be that we find someone to collaborate with, and then what we do is we essentially make or help make whatever the other person wants to do, just like their idea, like we want to see that idea through, and then just kind of throw it into this Augury House game, which would just be like a accumulation of a bunch of, independently made collaborative projects. But yeah, it is there is like a challenge in kind of selling that idea, of just being like, we'll do whatever you want, that's like the project.
Exactly.
But so yeah, that's like why we kind of have a range of collaborations, kind of like the gallery is like a big one in that regard, because it's just like a, I don't know, it's easier to ask for collab. It's like easier to understand. It's like, it's just a gallery,
Right.
But we're hoping that would be like a seg into other ranges of collaboration, and and that. But it's like, I don't know, I guess Augury House is about like that creative support, of just getting people into this ecosystem for us to help see someone else's work in just like this new world, in this new space.
Something that definitely wouldn't be in a game space.
Yeah.
Because it seems like that door is definitely like, it's opening now, but it seems like the door's been closed with nobody ever really trying to open it. Like nobody's, or there's been people who've made like, I guess you could say like similar-ish games, but like especially art world in the game isn't like the highest priority now, it seems like, in the game world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely um, seems like we're definitely trying to explore what, like, you know, gaming really could be.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like a potential model. Like
Right.
there's a lot of like there's art games out there where you know they like use AI to kind of organize, or it's like, or it's along the lines where player makes, you know,
Yeah.
like their own little exhibition within the space.
Yeah.
But what like the Augury House model is, I guess we're kind of centered closer to like real life,
Yeah.
like small galleries where it's just kind of it's very has that personal element. So like we're it's not like within the game there's a way to submit to like an open forum, or there's a way to like see live submissions that are coming in at the moment. Like we're very old school. It's like, you know, we contact you via DMs or email, and then we kind of initiate the collaboration through that, and then like through the collaboration, you know, we'll have people on for the radio to kind of talk things through, or you know, and then when we do have collaborations to put things in the work, there's it's a lot more hands-on in terms of just talking to the person that we're working with. So like the personal element, the like the communication and just, you know, sharing ideas, talking things through, discussing like potential new avenues for like how something could look is like really, really important to this model. Like who knows if it's like the perfect model. Like, well, there's no perfect model. Like I think the beauty of things is like that there is a wide range of models.
Yeah.
But like this model is particularly based off of just, you know, just conversation, laid back environment. So you know, low stakes, small collaborations, just making like small spaces with people. But yeah, you know, I feel like that this model could work, or has been working, because it's just so easy to work within the game space. Like I feel that as time goes on, you know, computers will get better as long as, you know, like we don't get wiped out by some worldwide, like, you know, as long as the apocalypse doesn't come sooner than later, you know.
Dude, between that and the scalping, like,
Yeah,
might be the technology,
that
but not
and the
sure
price
if it'll be
scalping, yeah.
available.
Yeah, but it's like if we keep on this trend, it'll just be like how video's turning out, where where, you know,
It's like another tool.
yeah,
Accessible.
like the editors for video is becoming a lot more widespread, but we're probably going to see a point where like game softwares can be accessible on like, can be found on like iPads or whatever, or, you know, or it's like computers already can, like a lot of computers can probably even run Unreal to just make like audio only levels, and that you know, that's like already a start. So yeah, it's just kind of, our model is kind of anticipating a future where everyone will be creating stuff within the like the game world, because like one of the early ideas of Augury House was just like making an Unreal project just for the sake of like a quick like greeting card kind of idea, like for a holiday or like a birthday or something like that. It would be really easy to just make like a small space in Unreal. You just throw in some audio, you can put in a voice memo, have like a text message somewhere in there, and then just package it out as like a short little game. Like that's really, really, really easy to do. It doesn't take much troubleshooting at all, but like, you know, if we can get to using games as on that quick of a level, like, I don't know, I just feel like that'd be so cool to...
Then it truly seems like, I guess, like another door is open, right? For just like gaming.
Yeah. Or it's like, you know,
or just game making.
Like
literally what a game is. Like, because a game doesn't necessarily have to be something so big. Like you said, it'd be like no different than, I guess, say doing the same thing with like video, like where it's like a greeting card with like video. We do that
Yeah.
all the time. It's just like, oh, hey, it's like, sorry, missed you, can't call you, whatever. But it's just like, want to wish you happy birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah. So
Wait, I'm gonna do a quick slip over. I gotta use the bathroom really bad. Oh.
yeah. Find a tree.
Okay, you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'll like leave your dead.
Yeah. I've been having fun though. It's hard to see exactly how things will plan out. Like, we're always making adjustments on the fly because, just want to be flexible and like receptive to like all the potential avenues we could take it. So it's like it's a very pliable system that we're working with. Like, yeah, just kind of unsure how it could pan out. Like, one avenue we're thinking is considering like a non-profit trajectory, because one of the things, I don't know, the way I feel about games is like, or about like the software for games is like, if I was like a painter or something like that, like if you're a painter, you can already use video to support your work. You can shoot a video of you doing like a time lapse of your painting, or video of you like something cinematic, setting your like work in the wild or something. You can do like a video kind of highlighting the spaces that might have inspired the work or whatever. But it's like, what if Unreal became, or games almost became like a complement as video? Yo. So one thing I was talking about was, how like if I'm like a painter, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, if you're a painter, you probably already use video in some way, or you're already using photo and video in some way to like showcase your work. Like, you could even make like a little trailer or something, or like a separate art piece that's kind of based on your painting. So it's like, video is already being used as like a super fluid notebook in a sense like that. But it's like, games could be, or like the medium of games could be just as good as like a sketch pad in that regard, because it's like, maybe instead of making like a video for your painting or something like that, it could just be taking a picture of your painting or scanning it and then putting it within a digital environment. Like, honestly, like the process to make a small environment for a painting that you bring in via photo could be as quick or even quicker as editing a video,
Yeah.
like the like if you just look at the game tools not from the perspective of making like a video game, then it's like a whole world opens up in terms of what you can do showcase wise and what you can do timeline wise. Like, you don't have to spend forever on this.
Like, expanding some on the like painting idea, it's just like, how would that change, I guess, seeing like a painting in a game? Like, if a painter was to, instead of, like you said, distribute, like they could still, but like say they distribute it via like their website, so you see like a painting on the internet, how might that be if you were to play it in a game? It's like, you get to experience it in a whole nother way than like if you were to just like see it via like the internet.
Yeah, and then you can like set audio spatially too, and it just like gives you so much control over your work. Cause like that was one of my big attractions to Unreal Engine at the start, was because, I was working studio art, and it's like it's fun working, thinking about your art in like a gallery setting, but it's also like a pain in the ass because, like, if you're thinking of like a projection, if you want to do like a video projection, you kind of have to, well, you have to find a room to project. You have to find a projector. So like, like it's a little bit easier when I was in like the school setting because I just like rent it. But then you come into the issue of time of day, because what if the projector you're renting or the one you
Right.
have at hand.
A lot of variables that you have control over in UE.
Yeah, but it's like if you put it in the game space, you can like really like play with how something will behave.
Right.
Like for Augury House, we made like I had to do like a real life exhibition for it, and then there's also like a version of that was made, or kind of, yeah, like made digitally. And so what that exhibition kind of had was this like a video projection and then two wireless speakers. But playing around with like the speaker setup in Unreal was pretty nice, because then I didn't really have to worry about like the Bluetooth connections, things like that, any weird technical difficulties. So it was like a lot easier to visualize, had a lot more options to play around with, because you can,
It seems like off the bat, just using like UE for something similar, like a gallery, for instance, is it's just like, yeah, it's just like off the bat, like you said, there's just so much more like tools you have. Like everything, you know, you literally just get the action of like using it. You don't have to deal with the setup of like most things really like at all. It's like most of the time it could be just like drag and drop. You know what I mean? And it's just
yeah.
like you're changing big things, like the weather, like that weather blueprint that you use so much. Like it's literally just drag and drop, and then you can change the setting day, night. It's like
Yeah.
that's like the difference between like, those are like the small things that a dev could change. That like overall could like impact like a lot bigger, and like they're things that you can't really do in like a gallery space, or you can, right? But it's gonna be like, you know.
Yeah, so I guess to kind of like send things forward, what we're our like current trajectory on what we're on is like, just try to facilitate more collaborations with people to just make spaces they want to make, kind of turn Augury House into like a weird cluster of just a bunch of strange small spaces and collaborations and like weird secrets, and then eventually like release some tutorials. We already have like a few completed, but like some tutorials and what are they called, and like workshops of
Oh,
kind
cool.
of like
Yeah.
our approaches, like just to kind of, yeah, just to kind of play with, I don't know, I feel
Like
like,
show some, especially like easy things that could be done in UE that are just like simple but make a pretty big difference.
yeah, but I feel uh like the Augury House thing is really just like, I don't know, it's just like future oriented, you know
Yeah.
like we just want to play and just see what like artists working in different mediums, like how their works could look in digital or in these virtual things.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's essentially the core of it, is just like imagining like, what if these game tools were as fluid and widespread as video. So like
Yeah.
that's essentially guiding the philosophy behind what we're looking for like collaborations,
Mm.
and what we're looking to do with like tutorials, and like where we're headed future wise, like thinking about like possible nonprofit trajectories and so on. So yeah, that's like the whole,
That's the the current up to date. Uh, and I guess one thing that's interesting now, well, we're gonna be shooting here soon, but is yeah, like down to the core, we want to do the film, right?
Yeah.
And this just really opens up like another path for us, really. Like especially just because you eat compliments, it so much.
Yeah, yeah. So like I don't know, and I guess that's a cool, funny thing to bring up because I don't know. I feel like like where I feel enthusiasm wise
Mm-hmm.
comes from like the same exact place of being like outside of game development, but seeing like the potential of it
Mm-hmm.
and be like, holy shit, let's try to do something. Like
Yeah.
that's like what we're trying to what we're trying to cultivate through these exhibitions of or these collaborations of bringing in people who aren't like explicitly going towards the game route, but kind of like bringing them or some of their works into the space comes from like the same exact enthusiasm that we had like from Augury House,
Right.
of just coming from like this film background and just being like, holy shit, like like the game culture aside, like that's a completely different thing. It's pretty toxic.
Right.
But like but it's like really really fucking toxic, like but this would just be like an adjacent model. So
Yeah.
like it's like we really come at it from like this non-game dev perspective and this non-game dev excitement of just seeing like, my god, like this, like like what you can do with digital audio, with making spaces, with how you can set video into a space, how you can incorporate video into a space, like that is really really incredible. And what you can just do like base level, like what's already embedded into like the core functionality of for like atmospheres, for like lighting and things like that alone is like really 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 insane.
Yeah.
And and yeah, it's just like, I guess we're just kind of just sharing that excitement. I know for game devs, like seeing kind of the stuff we're playing with might be like it's like very very lower level.
Yeah.
It's like lower technical difficulty, is very very simple, but like that simplicity is like really like a gold mine for people who are not really thinking about game development. It's like
Right.
this is like really, this is
It's
it's like a dream.
opening up, and again, not to correlate to like video again, but again, it's just like video where it's like, if you say acting, right, some people will try to act and then they become like flustered because it's like, oh, I gotta act, right? But if like you're just videoing yourself, like, and you like just video, like, I guess normally, and like send that to somebody, then it's like you don't worry about the acting part, and it's
Yeah.
like video is used in like both senses, just on like a different scale, and like that's how we're kind of using games. It's just like on a different scale.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like the first time just putting like the video that we shot earlier into like the game for the first time.
Yeah.
And just like seeing how just like the light just like bounced on the floor
Oh,
and like
yeah.
into the space when I didn't even have to do anything. It just like did it.
Yeah. The big thing for me was the like viewport. Was the being able to view from different angles.
Yeah. And then like we even have like some like a very basic script of like how to change cameras when you just like click. So it's like already we have like a multicam setup, like we wouldn't be able to do anything like that
Right.
in real life because we don't have like a HDMI switcher. We don't have like we don't have a lot of cameras like that. But in Unreal, like we can it's just like click of a button. It's like you have your whole film crew right there. So like just like the potential of like coming at it just as someone from a different medium, like it's just like a really exciting space. So that's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of like the feelings for Augury House.
Right. It's like just as much for us. It's like we're exploring like uncharted territory, or it's like like you said, it's like we're doing this, but it's also like we're doing it for the fun too,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like being able to explore what this like new thing is, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's like, I guess we're really coming at it from like our own very specific perspective. So it's like, we're coming at it from experimentation, from playing around, but also like playing with manuals and things like that. So like, I don't know, like that feels like the fun part is.
And like it's almost like we could pull from like what's already known about games, like you said, like with like things like manuals, and like make them ours, like our take, like from like our standpoint, because it's like if you look at the Augury House manual, even for instance, it's like much different than what you'd see from like a Red Dead manual or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like we still like have this game template to take from, but it's like with everything we take, it's like we're kind of like doing it in our own way. It's like manual. It's like everybody knows what a manual is. You know, it's
Yeah.
like how it works, instructions. But I guess it's like for us, like free to play with that however we would want. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So it's like,
because it's like even like the manual for, like I said, the Augury House. It's almost like a zine in itself too.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's like, because like, we were working on trying to make booklet zines in the
Yeah,
past, so like
that's
everything's been kind of coming together. But that's like just the fun part that I see with like this approach of using Unreal
Yeah.
is like you can really have the freedom to craft your own system,
Mm-hmm.
of how you want to package your thing. Because like, you don't have to make a game and have it be judged based off of
Right.
like the way games are judged, which would be like, it's like, you've seen on Steam like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
reviews. You check your boxes, give it a 9 out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, that's such a it, I mean, you can review games like that, but I feel like it's much more interesting if you kind of craft your own system and craft your own grounds for talking about the game,
Yeah.
aside from just metrics, rating it against other things.
Right.
If you can create a system that's based around conversation and just growing the ideas that you already have and just trying to shape them with like against like the ideas of other people, I feel like that's like the most fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like breaking out of that comparative mindset and just really digging into but it's like, like, who knows how this will pan out.
Yep.
Like we're like very much building it from square one, like like we've already went through so many different iterations and different structures
Mm-hmm.
to get to kind of where we're at. But like even where we're at, there's now, it's like maybe we have too many points of contact. But I don't know, that's part of the fun too. Like who knows how this will pan out, but
Yeah.
I feel like we're coming from a good place. So
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see here. So yeah, I guess after this, well, I do want to show one of a game or one of the, like, we have a lot of duds, or I've made a lot of duds, but so I guess we'll show one of those after this. The one I've been thinking of was that hay one where it's just like jumping around in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely not going to make it on anything. But I mean, I guess it'll be kind of cool to show because it,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we're gonna shoot a video, just kind of get used to shooting IRL. So yeah, we're planning on shooting it around here, I guess, but I think we better go do that because this is running out of battery.
Oh, geez.
But we're not shooting with audio. We're just kind of just shooting, but
Yeah. Some stuff to play around with.
yeah. So
plugs.
Yeah, this has been the Augury House Radio, speaking from your dreams from the Augury House thing. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna go shoot some video, but we'll see you again.
Should we plug anything?
To plug something?
Do you want to plug anything?
I don't have anything to plug.
Should we plug the cord at all?
The cord?
D-cord?
Oh yeah.
Just content. Random content could be uploaded. Friendly place.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the community Discord, I guess. It's like the.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a nice, peaceful day. But yeah, we have that.
Should we? Oh, okay.
Should we just
Sure.
sign it, or I unhooked.
Are we still in?
Should we just?
Wait, is it still going?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we could try to work in a better plug the next time for the D-cord. But that could be something.
Yeah,
cool.
endings are difficult. Like, I don't know. It's just like when we filled things in different parts, it's so hard to kind of picture where you're gonna pick up, where you're gonna leave off.
Right.
But I think we're gonna leave off here. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna leave off here. Oh fuck.
Do your legs feel funny after kneeling
Yeah,
that
my
long?
legs feel funny.
Yeah, dude, like going to take a piss, like I was like stumble walking.
Yeah.
Shit's mad hard.
Oh. All right. Next time.
Yeah. So we should try to figure out some like good way we could loop.
Hello. I hope you enjoyed that conversation between me and Ben. Up next, we have a little preview, or I'm going to be doing a playthrough of one of our small projects called Hey, which probably won't get released because it was a test. The way Hey works is it's just a small little map with a bunch of stairs and shapes of various sizes, all coated in this in material that was used for rainwater. But so when you use that texture for rainwater on actual objects, like it reflects and bounces weird because droplet of water, light hitting through it and stuff. So so that's what the main level looks like, and then audio wise, it's pretty much just saying hey a bunch of times on like what's it called, on like a polyrhythm. So it's just a hey polyrhythm, but the way it works is if we have like a little note of audio, kind of like a planet, and it's like the speaker rotates around the node of audio. So that's what like each audio has. So they all have like the stereo surround, but another thing upon that is that these points of audio are also moving around in space too. So in other words, they're baked in with like this 360 audio effect, and there's also moving around in the space. So what you'll hear is essentially just a polyrhythm of haze of various pitches and coming from different points in the space. One interesting thing to note is the move speed is really slow, but the jump is really high. So yeah, that's pretty much hey. Don't think it will be released onto an actual project or anything like that because it's kind of it's like, it's whatever. It's hay. But yeah, so without further ado, I present to you Hay, and then we'll see you in the next Augury House Radio. Hey.